There's been a lot of heated talk about a free and fair election. Well, it's going to be free and fair. You're going to be able to vote. But it has not been a fair election for quite a while because the media have put not just their thumb, their entire elbow, in fact, their entire body on the scale in favor of Joe Biden. Establishment media are corrupt. They are corrupt on behalf of the left. So-called legacy outlets like the New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, they've abandoned objectivity completely. They don't even pretend to be objective anymore to push their preferred candidate into office on a gurney if need be, and it shows. To set the stage, we need to examine how the left has gone fully crazy. The Democratic Party is no longer the Democratic Party of the 1950s or even the 1960s. It is no longer the Democratic Party even of Bill Clinton. They are a radical party. Some of their philosophical agenda points include support of the 1619 Project, the presumption that America is deeply evil. It is rooted in racism and sexism and bigotry, that the free market is exploitative, that the free market is cruel, that your rights are a threat to actual freedom. Your right to bear arms, for example, is actually a threat to others around you. They believe that your individual identity doesn't matter at all. All that matters is how you are identifiable by a group. They believe in intersectional identity and a hierarchy of victimhood where we can decide whether to listen to you based on your group identity. They believe, again, that America is rooted in evil, and because of this, they've sparked a culture war. In that culture war, they've refused to condemn Antifa or Black Lives Matter. They've gone soft on rioting and looting. And of course, the thing that affects you most, they have engaged in cancel culture. Because politics isn't just about policy. Politics very often is about the people around you treating you like garbage because they disagree with you. And this is something the Democratic Party has not just fostered, they have pushed. They've pushed it incredibly hard. Cancel culture is about the basic idea that you are morally inferior because you're conservative or because you're religious or because you step outside the leftist groupthink. The Democratic Party has made this the basis for their campaign. And the media have echoed and reinforced these talking points. They found themselves complicit in the leftist agenda. In fact, they're just the communications wing at this point for the Democratic Party. On COVID, they pretend that every death is attributable to Donald Trump. They suggest that Democratic governors did a wonderful job, even though most of the states with the highest death per millions rates, most of those states are Democratic states. They shamed Republican governors for having the temerity to talk about reopening. They shamed you, business owners, for wanting to reopen. But they cheered on wildly while millions of protesters, including looters and rioters, went out in the streets and spat all over each other because, of course, they were protesting on behalf of woke causes. And now, as we all know, according to our leftist media, the virus is woke. The Democratic media complex, they've completely ignored scandals from Democrats. They've acted as state-run mouthpieces for the Democratic Party. The media have suggested that if you are a Supreme Court nominee from President Trump, it is perfectly within bounds to suggest that you are a gang rapist in order to ensure that you not be put on the court. They have suggested in the media that it is perfectly legitimate to pack the Supreme Court. They have suggested that if you are a high school kid wearing a MAGA cap and you are confronted with a Native American activist banging a drum in your face and you stand there and do nothing, you are a vicious racist. The media have suggested that Governor Andrew Cuomo was amazing at COVID, even while he was shipping COVID-ridden elderly back into nursing homes. And of course, they covered up the Hunter Biden email story. Regardless of how serious you think the story is, the media cover-up is significantly more serious. The fact is the media simply decided that any story that hurt Joe Biden could not be reported, should not be reported, no one should ask questions, and social media should simply quash dissemination of the story. If Joe Biden wins this election, it's clear establishment media will have played a massive role in that event. Over the course of Donald Trump's presidency, they've had a jarring, maybe irreversible impact on our culture. They're going to continue to use that power to fundamentally reshape the country unless they are stopped or unless their power is taken away.